Hello, we are having Miss Alejandra join us today. She is going to be talking about her Teachers Pay Teachers experience and how she's been able to utilize that in her Outschool business as well as gain some passive income. So we're all about that life. So I'm going to start by having Alejandra introduce herself, her background, and share how her online teaching experience has been so far.
All right. So, hello, everyone. I am Alejandra. I have been an online teacher for about 4.5 years. And prior to that, I was also a classroom teacher. I actually started teaching online in 2018 with the VIP Kid Night Tutor Group. I did that a little bit part time until I was able to leave the classroom and do that full time, which was like 25 to 35 hours a week. And I did that for a while until I eventually found Outschool in 2020. And then once I went all in with Outschool, I kind of let those ESL companies fade away. But that is my background. 4.5 years already.
Wow, that is so cool. It's been about, I don't know, not even 2 years for me. So, my first question for you, and I think a lot of online teachers right now are wondering this too, or they might be in the position where they're thinking about creating a Teachers Pay Teachers shop, but they don't really know if that's something they should do. So, when did you decide to create and upload your resources to Teachers Pay Teachers?
Yeah. So honestly, Teachers Pay Teachers was never on my radar. I mean, when I was a classroom teacher, I would purchase from Teachers Pay Teachers. Once I became an online teacher, I didn't really use it until I started with Outschool. And
Mhm.
then when I was with Outschool, and as an Outschool teacher, you have to really pay attention to copyright issues or then creating your own resources. I kind of thought about it because I was creating resources, but again, I didn't really think anything of it until I saw an experience. So I'm in a membership, and one of the experiences from the membership was someone who made a good source of income from Teachers Pay Teachers. And it just kind
Yeah.
of got my mind thinking about it. That once my mind started thinking, I started watching like other interviews and experiences from other teachers that do make a good source of income on there.
Mhm.
And I loved the fact that those teachers made such a passive stream of income. That was really like captivating to me. I really wanted to try that out. So once
Yeah.
I kind of heard those experiences, I decided, why not? Why don't I just give it a try? I'm
Yeah,
already
I think
creating
I
resources.
think that's a pull is the passive or semi-passive income that comes with it. And because first of all, it's a digital resource, right? So it's like you don't need to pay for the materials. And once it's out there, it's out there. And it's not like you're editing it or like lesson planning every week, right? It's like it's really nice in that way. And plus you can utilize like your already created resources. So do you use the resources from your classes in a way with your Teachers Pay Teachers shop?
So in a way, yeah. So that's kind of how I started. I know we might talk about it a little bit later,
Right.
but basically what I did, I would pick one or two resources that I did create for Outschool, and I would revamp those or create similar things like over and
Okay.
over and over again.
Oh,
That's kind
interesting. Okay. Yeah. That kind of gives me a good idea of teachers, like paid teachers too, and how to kind of, SEO and like strategic marketing and things like that. But I would love to know because I know a lot of teachers again are in the same position is what was your biggest fear or hurdle when it came to starting a Teachers Pay Teachers store?
Yeah, I feel like there was two, to be honest. The first one was you're kind of scared, just like if you put anything out there that nobody's gonna buy any of your stuff. So in the
Mm-hmm.
beginning, I didn't even mention that I was like starting a Teachers Pay Teachers, so I just
Oh
started posting
goodness, yeah.
like things here and there. I didn't really mention it,
Yeah.
and then I started like making sales, which was cool
Wow.
because I mean, I don't have a huge audience, but I hadn't mentioned it to my email list. I hadn't mentioned it to YouTube yet.
Right.
still making some sort of sale.
Uh-huh.
So that was kind of something I was scared of, that my products wouldn't sell. And then
Mhm.
I was also nervous because I hear so many teachers say that teachers pay teachers is really in for the long haul. So when you first start, you're not going to make a ton of income. So I was worried that I was going to waste a bunch of time and not really make sales, because there's so much, didn't know how much work goes into
Right.
teachers. There's a lot of
Is
like
it?
things you have
Yeah.
to learn and do behind the scenes. Yeah.
Mhm. For sure. Well, I know someone that I've coached in the past, a teacher is now on Teachers Pay Teachers, and she said she made sales, within a couple months,
Mhm.
and it's going well for her. I mean, it's a learning hurdle, but it's going well for her. So how soon was your first sale from
So
when you started the store?
So when you start your story, you do have to post a freebie, and I didn't pay attention to my freebie. I know that I had like a lot of opens, like a
Yeah.
lot of downloads, but I can't remember exactly. But after I uploaded that freebie, probably took me like 2 or 3 weeks to upload an actual product, and then I made a sale a few weeks later. So it was only
Oh,
like 2 or 3 weeks.
yeah.
You got to keep in mind, I started also with like really small products. So products that would only take me a few hours to create and then
Mhm.
upload, and didn't like charge. I didn't charge that much for them.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I mean, that's good to hear, to be honest, because I think I've even heard the stories. I mean, I haven't looked into it that much, but I've heard the stories where, like some teachers pay teachers have made, I don't know, like a few dollars in 1 year or like a few months or something. And I think that's where the fear comes as you hear those stories. But now, I don't know if it's a 2021 to 2022. I've just heard so many success stories of especially Outschool teachers using their resources on TPT and like making sales within the first month.
And I
So
can say, I think it's because of the skills you've started to develop as an online teacher. So
true.
I am an Outschool teacher, and as an Outschool teacher, you do your research, you look for
Yeah.
keywords, you pay attention to SEO and all that stuff. And it's super, super similar for your TPT shop, because you need to be thinking, what are those teachers going to be typing in on the search bar? Because that's what you want. That's how you want people to find you in the beginning, is through
Yeah.
search. Other way, there's no way for them to find you.
Yeah. That's
Those
actually really funny.
carry over.
Yeah, because so the teacher I'm talking about, she was a member of the Teacher to Boss Society, and she said she had started the shop and she'd utilized a lot of the stuff that was in the course. And she's like, "Thank you so much." I'm like, "I'm glad to help." Like I know nothing about TPT, but apparently it helped.
Yeah, that was
So
how it was for my YouTube, because I took a YouTube course
yeah,
before, and I feel like it helped for my Outschool, and then it helped for Teachers Pay Teachers. All of those things that you don't really know you need to know as an
right.
online teacher.
Yes, for sure. Can you give us kind of a behind the scenes of how you prepare your products for TPT? Like what goes into that?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, so I'm still very, very new to Teachers Pay Teachers. Kind of put that out there. I'm like about to hit 6 months, and I can
Yeah.
already see like the progress, how I started and how I am now. But basically, I have a paper where I have everything brainstormed that I could even imagine making. I just
Hmm.
put it on a paper, and then I kind of slowly go through that and just start creating things. And I
Yeah.
kind of mentioned before that I take resources that I've used in Outschool, so I'm kind of familiar with how they might work with students, and then I kind of recreate those. But
Okay.
that's not like the only thing. So I create the product. Once I've
Yeah.
actually created the product and it's in a PDF file or whatever format, I have to start organizing or creating like my sales page. So I
Mhm.
need to make a good thumbnail. I need to make a good description box. I need to make a preview. I try to include like a video preview with lots of my
Do you make it
products.
with Canva? It's
I
like,
do.
get Canva. You know,
Canva
right?
is a lifesaver.
Sorry, I lost you.
But yeah, there's a lot of steps. It's
Hmm.
creating the product, learning how to list the product, and then eventually I want to be able to focus on even like email marketing with my product.
Wow, yeah. For
So
sure. Like funneling.
mhm.
Yeah. And like, ooh, that's cool. Like sending out a newsletter out and, oh, here are my new products. This is going to really help with this. And oh, that's so cool. I love it. And I love the products that you've shown here on your YouTube channel too. So check her YouTube channel out. I'll put the link in the description and in the comments as well. Because Alejandra has a lot of teachers pay teachers. Like you even do a tutorial on some worksheets that you utilize in your tutoring classrooms, which I think would be awesome. And do you have like a video that you talk about? Yeah, you talk about your teachers pay teachers experience as well on your YouTube.
I'm gonna be starting more. I only have
Yeah,
one or two up right now, but yeah.
for sure, definitely. How do you manage both, teaching on Outschool and also building this other business? I mean, of course, you have the YouTube too, which is really huge, but also teachers pay teachers. How do you manage it all?
Yeah, so you have to have a schedule. And since teachers pay teachers is my priority right now, there
Mhm.
are some other things you have to put on the back burner. And that's something you
Yeah,
always have to think about when you're trying something new or expanding your business. You always want to have like one thing that you focus on. And once you've kind of mastered it or gotten it really well, then move on to the next. So
yeah,
I'm really comfortable with my Outschool schedule and my Outschool business right now,
right,
but I don't put too much extra energy into my business other than just teaching.
right.
So my teaching schedule, I have 4 days that I teach a lot. And then I have one day that's a little bit of a half day. And then during my other times, I'm able to really focus in on teachers pay teachers, just learn about teachers pay teachers, create my products, list my products, all of that kind of stuff. So I've had to
Yeah,
take away time from other tasks that I used to do and
right.
replace like teachers pay teachers.
And I think you're really good at organizing your time. So thank
Right.
yes, definitely. And it's something that you care about and you care about your health and your mental health and your mental clarity. So I learn from you too when I'm listening to you like on Instagram stories or just with all your life and how you structure everything. So this helps me too. This question helps me too because I want to know how you manage these things. Okay, so last big question is what is your best advice for anyone starting out with a teachers pay teachers store?
Yeah, so probably would be to just start. I actually have had like two or three people ask me just like this week, like, should I try it? I'm like, yes, like it doesn't hurt to try.
Right.
Uh, you don't even have to tell anybody. That's the great thing. You just make the shop and try it out. And like I mentioned before, and it's similar to Outschool where you're going to be trying different types of products.
Right.
So try one type of product. If that doesn't sell, okay, like try another product. If that one doesn't sell, try a different type and really start to experiment with other products, just like you would with Outschool classes, to
Yeah.
see if any of those do really well in your shop. And then you can kind of recreate similar style products. And then
Mm,
I also recommend is just watching YouTube. I haven't purchased anything yet to help
yeah.
me learn more about teachers pay
Right.
teachers, but I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I love her name is Becca Davis. She's
Hmm.
one of my favorite YouTubers that focuses on teachers pay teachers, but just
Yeah.
watching and learning from others that have gone through it is really helpful as well.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, I have heard of Becca Davis. It reminds me of like my journey kind of on TikTok too is kind of like when you're uploading a video, you kind of upload the video of the same topic in just different formats to kind of see, which one relates best to your customers or your audience, right? So it's similar to that, but really similar to Outschool, which is why I could see why you're saying if you have the skills to teach online and to create classes online, then you can kind of transition those skills to TPT. And what I love about TPT is that you get to be like I'm a type of person who likes creating my classes
Mhm.
and kind of making it interesting and playing games and activities and all that stuff. So I I think I would also be interested in creating because in that other aspect, because I like to create, right? So I think that's what's really cool about Teachers Pay Teachers. If you're already creative and you already like to do games and activities with your students, it probably would be the right fit for you. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for coming today and doing this little interview with me. And I will have to have you on again in some capacity and back here. But if you want to follow Alejandra, check out her YouTube. She has so many great resources for not just Teachers Pay Teachers, even though she's going to upload more of those types of videos, but also online teaching life, Outschool, being a full-time teacher. And she has transitioned from the classroom while she was teaching online at the same time, which I don't know how you could manage that, which is amazing. And find her on Instagram. And if you're currently an online teacher or looking to be an online teacher, her resources are for online teachers, right? So copyright free resources. There you go.
Yes.
She's your girl. She's your girl. So I'll link all her details below. And yes, and thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
All right, bye-bye now.